And here is our topic for today, physical development during middle childhood. During middle childhood, around ages 6 to 12 years old, the growth rate of children is steady but slower compared to early childhood or adolescence. Children grow about 2 to 2.5 inches in height per year and gain 2 to 3 kilograms in weight per year. The body also becomes more proportionate, where arms and legs grow longer while the head becomes visibly smaller compared to the rest of the body. And lastly, muscles become stronger and bones harden, improving coordination and strength. Moving on, children improve both in fine motor skills and gross motor skills as they become more coordinated. What is fine motor skills? Fine motor skills are the abilities that involve using the small muscles in your hand, fingers, and wrists to perform precise movements. These skills help you do tasks that require coordination and control. Examples of fine motor skills: writing or drawing with a pencil, cutting with scissors, picking up small objects like coins or beads, and using a spoon or fork to eat. And gross motor skills, on the other hand, are the abilities that involve using the large muscles of the body to perform movements like walking, running, jumping, or balancing. These skills help us do activities that require the whole body movement and coordination. And for our next topic is brain development in middle childhood. Brain development in middle childhood, ages 6 to 12 years. During middle childhood, the brain continues to grow and develop, though not as rapidly as in early childhood. Important changes happen that improve thinking, learning, and behavior. And to understand further the brain development during middle childhood, here are some key points. Number one is slower but steady brain growth. The overall size of the brain increased gradually, reaching about 90% of its adult size by this stage. Number two is myelination continues. Nerve fibers become covered with myelin, a fatty layer that speeds up the transmission of messages in the brain. This helps children think and react more quickly. Third is development of the prefrontal cortex. The area of the brain responsible for planning, decision-making, self-control, and problem-solving continues to mature, allowing children to manage emotions and focus better. Number four is improved coordination and motor skills. As said earlier, the brain areas controlling movement, motor cortex, and cerebellum develop further, improving balance, coordination, and precision in physical activities like writing, sports, and playing instruments. Number five, stronger connection between brain regions. The corpus callosum, which connects the left and right hemisphere of the brain, becomes more efficient. This allows better coordination between logic, left brain, and creativity, the right side of the brain. Number six is advances in memory and thinking. The hippocampus, which supports memory, develops more fully. Children can remember more information and use strategies like categorizing and organizing when learning. Number seven, which is the last number in our key points, cognitive growth. As the brain matures, children begin to think more logically and understand complex ideas, moving from concrete to more abstract thinking, as described by Piaget's concrete operational stage. And in summarization, during middle childhood, the brain becomes more organized, efficient, and connected. This supports major improvements in learning, memory, attention, reasoning, and self-control, all crucial for success in school and social life. Here also happens the development of motor skills and gross motor skills for children during middle childhood. And that's it. Thank you.
Key aspects of physical development. Growth spurt. An accelerated period of growth in height and weight, with changes in body proportions as the body grows from the extremities inward. Sinasabi dito na ang growth ay panahon kung kailan ang isang bata o teenager ay biglang tumatangkad o lumalaki ng mabilis. Karaniwan itong nangyayari sa kabataan o teenage years, pagdadalaga at pagbibinata o puberty. Ano ang mga senyales ng growth spurt? Biglang pagtangkad, mas malalaking paa o kamay, mas madaling mapagod, at palaging gutom. Meron tayong 5 characteristics of growth spurt. Una ay ang rapid development. A growth spurt is an intense burst of growth, not steady increase. For example, a child might grow several inches in year during puberty. Halimbawa na dito ang sa unang taon ng sanggol, mabilis siyang natututong gumapang, umupo at magsimulang maglakad. Number 2, affects multiple aspects. Halimbawa dito sa panahon ng pagbibinata, nagbabago ang katawan, damdamin at ugali ng isang teenager. Number 3, predictable timing in infancy and puberty. Karaniwan ng mga sanggol ay nagsisimulang magsalita ng kanilang unang salita sa loob ng 12 buwan. Halimbawa pa dito ang pagbibinata o pagdadalaga. Karaniwang nangyayari ito sa edad na 10 hanggang 14 para sa mga babae at 12 hanggang 16 para sa mga lalaki. Halos lahat ng tao ay dumaraan dito sa halos parehong edad. Sa panahong ito, nagbabago ang katawan, damdamin at pag-iisip ng bata. Nagkakaroon ng pagbabago sa boses, katawan at ugali.
There are key aspects of physical development. Sexual maturation. In this biological process of developing, the physical and hormonal changes needed for reproduction, during which an organism becomes capable of having offspring. In humans, transition is part of puberty and includes the development of secondary sexual characteristics, such as breast development in female and increased muscle mass or facial hair in male. So in females, these changes are caused by hormonal activity, especially estrogen and progesterone. So sa female ay nade-develop yung kanilang breast at nag-i-increase din ang height nila at nag-gain sila ng weight. Nagkakameron sila ng menstrual or yung period, tapos yung body nila nagkakameron ng shape or nagiging curve. Yung pagdating sa baywang nila nagiging curve. Tapos body hair growth, so tinutubuan din sila ng buhok, especially sa kilikili and sa private part. Tapos yung skin at yung hair nila ay nagbabago rin. So, pagdating naman sa males, trigger mainly by hormone testosterone. So, pagdating sa male, nag-i-increase din ang kanilang height, pati yung muscle nila. Tapos, nagiging deep din yung kanilang voice. Tapos, yung facial, underarm, and pubic hair growth. So, yun nga, nagkakabok din yung kanilang sa mukha nila, yung bigote at saka yung balbas sa kilikili and private part. Enlargement of testicle and penis. Natural emissions, increased sweating and oilier skin, broader shoulder and more muscle development. So, lumalapad din yung kanilang shoulders kasi nga nade-develop to. And hormonal changes. During adolescence, the body goes through major hormonal changes that trigger puberty, the process of becoming physical, mature, and capable of reproduction. These hormones and chemical messengers that control growth, emotions, and sexual development in both boys and girls. The role of the brain, hypothalamus, and pituitary gland. The hypothalamus is the brain signal. The pituitary gland is to release special hormones called gonadotropins. These include follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone. These two hormones act on the gonads, testicles in boys, ovaries in girls to start puberty. So, sa females, yung main hormones nila is yung estrogen and progesterone. So, ang effect nito is yun nga, nade-develop yung breast, nag-start na yung menstrual, widening the hips, growth and pubic and underarm hair, regulation of menstrual cycle. So, sa lalaki naman ay, ang main hormone nila is yung testosterone. At ang epekto naman to ay yung growth of facial, pubic and growth of facial, pubic and body hair. Deepening the boys, increase in muscle mass and strength, growth of penis and testicles, production of sperm.
Ayan, let's talk about hormonal changes. Ano nga ba kapag sinabi nating hormonal changes? When we say hormonal changes are the driving force behind physical development, particularly during puberty, kung saan nagiging physical na mature at capable mag-produce ang isang tao. Ito ay tumutukoy sa changes ng tao, dulot ng hormones that affects the physical development of a person. In short, hormonal changes ay mga pagbabagong nangyayari sa katawan dahil sa mga hormones na nagdudulot sa physical development habang lumalaki ang isang tao. Sabi dito, hormones are the chemical messenger in the body na kumokontrol sa paglaki, emotions, at sexual development sa babae at lalaki. Of course, there is a role of the brain which are the hypothalamus and pituitary gland. Ang hypothalamus ay ang nagsasend na signal kay pituitary gland na nagre-release ng special hormones na tinatawag na gonadotropins. Ito ay ang FSH or follicle stimulating hormone at LH or luteinizing hormone. These hormones act on the gonads, testes sa lalaki at ovaries naman sa mga babae. Dito na ang puberty and development of sexual characteristics. Sa babae, ang main hormones ay estrogen at progesterone, at sa lalaki naman ay testosterone. Ang epekto nito sa babae ay paglaki ng dibdib, paglaki ng balakang, pagkakaroon ng buhok sa kilikili at ari. Sa lalaki naman ay paglalim ng boses, pagkakaroon din ng buhok sa kilikili, sa mukha at ari.
Good day everyone. So our topic today is body composition change. So what is body composition change? During adolescence, the body undergoes significant change in size, shape, and compositions due to hormonal activity and rapid growth. This change prepares the body for adulthood and sexual maturity. So in girls, increase in body fat, especially around the hips, thighs, and breasts, smoother body shape due to estrogen. Moderate increase in muscle mass, but not as much as boy. Bone growth continues until around age 16 to 18. In boys naman is increase in muscle mass and strength due to testosterone, decrease in body fat percentage. Broader shoulders and narrower hips develop. Bones becomes denser and continue to grow until around age 18 to 21. So ito po is yung pagbabago sa katawan sa pagdadalaga at pagbibinata. Sa adolescence po is mabilis ang paglaki at pagbabago ng katawan dahil po sa mga hormones. And sa mga babae po, dumarami ang taba sa balakang hita at dibdib. Nagiging bilugan ng katawan at humihinto ang paglaki ng buto sa edad na 16 hanggang 18. Sa mga lalaki naman po is lumalaki ang kalamnan, bumababa ang taba, lumalapad ang balikat, at patuloy ang paglaki ng buto hanggang 18 hanggang 21. So, in organ growth naman po is the internal organs grow and mature rapidly to support the body overall development. This growth is influenced by hormonal change and the body increased need for oxygen, nutrients, and energy. Most organs increase in size and efficiency matching the rapid growth of bones and muscles. The heart and lungs grow larger to support higher physical activity levels. The brain continues to develop, especially areas responsible for decision making and emotions. The reproductive organs mature, allowing the body to reach and sexual maturity. In girls, ovaries, uterus, and vagina increase in size. The uterine lining begins regular cycles. It is a menstruation. The breast develop as part of secondary sexual characteristic. In boys, testes and penis grow larger, prostate gland and seminal vesicles develop to produce semen. Sperm productions begin in testes.
So yan, natapos na po tayo sa key aspect of physical development. Sumunod naman tayo ay sa factors influencing development. So meron tayong 7 na influencing development. Una dito ay ang heredity genetic factors. So ang genes inherited from parents determine height, body shape, skin color, and rate of growth. They also influence the timing of puberty and physical traits like muscle and fat distribution. So dito, nakaka-influence pala sa atin yung genetic ng ating mga magulang. So example na lang dito ay yung height nila, body shape, skin color, tsaka rate of growth. So sa dito naman may sinabi dito na timing of puberty and physical traits. So minsan makikita natin na may ibang at the age of 11, tinutubuan na sila ng mga private hair, mga pubic hair. So yung iba naman hindi. So meron namang iba na late na nagkakaroon sa mga babae, late na nagkakaroon ng menstruation at yung iba naman mas maagang nagkakaroon ng menstruation. Sunod naman is nutrition. So ano nga ba yung epekto ng nutrition sa development ng katawan natin? A balanced diet provides the energy and nutrients needed for growth and hormonal function. So, ang balanced diet daw pala is nakakatulong sa development ng katawan natin. Kasi, paano siya nakakatulong sa development ng katawan natin? Dahil, nagpo-provide ito ng energy and nutrient needed for growth natin. So, kapag unhealthy yung kinakain natin, may epekto pala to sa katawan natin. May tendency na hindi tayo lumaki or hindi mag-develop yung katawan natin katulad ng ibang mga bata. So, malnutrition or poor eating habits can cause delayed growth or stunned development. So, kapag hindi tayo kumakain ng tama, hindi tayo kumakain ng masusustansyang pagkain, nakikita din pala ito sa atin, katulad ng malnutrition. So, minsan, doon naman tayo sa balanced diet, minsan, nagiging fat, o diba? Nagiging obese yung isang tao kapag nagiging super dami na yung kinakain nila. Sumunod naman dito ay, number 3 ay ang hormones. So, sex hormones, testosterone in boys, estrogen and progesterone in girls. Trigger physical changes such as muscle growth, voice deepening, and menstruation. So, dito yung hormones natin nakaka-apekto din sa development ng katawan natin sa pamamagitan ng sa lalaki na nalelesen yung pag-growth ng muscle nila. So, makikita natin dun sa mga late bloomers na lalaki, hindi maayos yung mga height nila. So, merong mga at the age of 21, maliliit pa rin sila, or at the age of 15, 16, matatangkad na sila, biglang tangkad ganon. So, menstruation. Sa iba naman, sa hormones, makikita natin dito sa mga babae na kapag late bloomer sila, yung menstruation nila or yung physical body nila, nakikita din doon. So, hormonal imbalance can affect normal growths and patterns. Sumunod naman po ay physical activities. So, regular exercise strengthens muscle, bones, and heart, and support healthy weight. So, dito, kapag nagpi-physical activity tayo, nakaka-apekto to sa development ng isang tao sa pamamagitan ng regular exercise. So, kapag regular tayo nag-exercise, nagiging matibay yung muscle natin, so yung bone natin, tsaka yung heart natin. So, nalilesen yung mga sakit na nararanasan ng katawan natin. And nagsusupport ito ng healthy weight sa katawan natin kasi nga more physical activity na the more na physical activity na ginagawa natin, the more na nagiging mas matibay yung katawan natin at nagiging mas healthy. So lack of activity may lead to obesity or poor muscle tone. So dito, kapag hindi tayo madalas or hindi tayo gumagalaw, lagi lang tayong nakahiga or hindi natin habit ang gumalaw, nakakaapekto din ito sa physical growth ng katawan natin. Example na po dito ay ang pagiging mataba, 'di ba? So, ang napapansin natin sa mga matataba is bihira silang kumilos. Bihira sila kumilos tapos mabilis silang hingalin kasi nga hindi sanay yung katawan nila sa mga physical activities. So, hindi nai-involve yung katawan nila sa mga physical activities katulad sa labas, 'di ba? So maraming organization na pwede nating salihan para magkaroon tayo ng activities na gumagalaw yung katawan natin katulad ng paglilinis ng bahay. So sunod natin is environment. Access to clean water, healthy food, medical care, and a safe living space supports proper growth. So, paano nga ba ito nakakaapekto sa development ng katawan natin? So, nakakaapekto ito sa development ng katawan natin sa pamamagitan ng iniinom natin or yung kinakain ng katawan natin. Especially the medical care and safe living space support. So, kapag hindi healthy yung tinitira natin or iniinom natin at ang mga nag-aalagang or medical care natin, so, nalilesen nito yung mga development sa katawan natin. Example na lang dito yung clean water, 'di ba? So malaking impact ng water sa katawan natin dahil mas mataas yung percentage niya kumpara sa kinakain natin. So sa medical care din, kapag mali yung medical care na natanggap natin, magkokos ito ng negative effect sa katawan natin. So, exposure to pollution, disease, or stress can negatively affect physical development. So, yan. So, yung disease nakakaapekto din to sa atin dahil maraming hindrance kung bakit hindi tayo or hindi nagde-develop yung katawan natin dahil sa mga disease or stress na nararamdaman natin. Kasi stress can cause many problems sa katawan natin. Sunod is sleep and rest. Yan. So, sa mga hindi natutulog dyan, alam nyo na kung bakit hindi nagde-develop ng maayos yung katawan nyo. Example na po dito ay ang sleep and rest. Yung mga gabi na natutulog, 'di ba? Yung madaling araw na natutulog or hindi na natutulog. So during sleep, the body releases growth hormones that help cells and tissues regenerate. So kapag pala natutulog tayo, doon nakakapagpahinga yung katawan natin. At doon din nag-growth yung mga hormones natin. So, yung body natin, nag-growth siya over time. So, nakakatulong din pala yung sleep para maibsan yung mga hormone natin or makapagpahinga yung mga hormone natin. So, in that way, kapag natulog tayo, makikita natin dito na maganda yung result ng katawan natin dahil nagpa-function siya ng tama. Alam nyo ba na kapag nagsisleep tayo, dun lang nakakapagpahinga yung katawan natin. At kapag hindi tayo nagsisleep, hindi tayo nakakaramdam ng totoong rest, 'di ba? So, Sleep can slow growth and cause fatigue or mood problems. So, kapag iniiwasan nyo yung pagtulog, nakakaresulta ito ng paglilesen ng growth nyo. Mabagal yung growth nyo. Last is health status. So, paano nga ba nakakaapekto ang development natin ng katawan natin when it comes to health status? So, chronic illness or infection can delay growth and puberty. So, nakakadelay para to ng growth ng katawan natin at ang puberty. So, paano natin nasasabi yun? Maraming mga bata na merong mga illness at saka infection sa katawan. So, nagkakos ito ng hindi pag-grow ng kanilang mga muscle internally. So, makikita naman natin to physically, di ba? So, good hygiene and healthcare can help maintain normal physical development. So, sa good hygiene pala and healthcare, makikita natin dito na mataas yung chances na maayos yung pag-develop ng physical body natin. So, tinatawag nating physical growth ng katawan natin. So, dun lang po natatapos ang presentation namin. Thank you po.